Sometimes when we decide to consciously manifest someone, we get torn between the need, the awareness of lack, the not having what I desire right now, and the knowledge of the truth that that reality that I am experiencing and I are intimately intertwined. That reality depends on my assumptions, my beliefs to exist. It is almost as if there were two wolves within us fighting constantly. And one is about faith, trust, becoming the change that you want to see in your life. And the other is about self-sabotage and external validation. And which one is going to win? Of course, it is the one that you feed the most. So today we are talking about how that inner change that you should be focused on is going to decide to determine what kind of reality you're going to experience with the person that you have in mind. So today is about what happens to them during the process of you becoming the change. You becoming the person that you want to be in that relationship. And of course, how to keep them consistent once they come back. How to keep them in your life, but as the version that you want them to be, okay? But before I get into it, hello everyone, if you're new here, my name is Elle. Welcome to my channel. If you're in need of coaching, go to the description box. The information is there. But right now, let's get into today's topic. One mistake that is going to make this experience really difficult for you is losing sight of what really matters here. And this is a mistake that many people do. I would even say most people do. But it's not the law of really wanting something. And if you are stuck in that feeling, I want it, I need it, then you are admitting to yourself that you are not. You are creating from that feeling state of I am not. And if you are now asking yourself, but how can I feel that I am when I am not in that relationship with my person? When I am not living the life that I want to live? Then the answer is you have to become independent of what you are experiencing outside of you. You have to start believing that you are the person who has all the tools to live that life, that it's destined for you. You know, I am going to be in a relationship that offers me that. Why? Because I have everything to create that relationship. And people, when they look at me, they want a partner like me to have that kind of relationship. And this is in general, because you don't want to put your person on a pedestal. You don't want to make this depending on that person. This is important to know because it shows us clearly where our focus should be, not on circumstances or lack. And that lack is going to be there in the beginning. That lack is going to drive us towards wanting a change, an inner change. But our goal is actually to increase, to raise our own perceived value, our self-concept, the idea of who we are. And this should happen to the point that what we desire to experience becomes the most logical outcome for us. The whole idea of who you are and what you have to offer, the beliefs and assumptions that you are the person that can get that kind of reaction from everyone, but especially from the person you have in mind. That you can have the relationship that you want to have with anyone, especially that person. This is what's going to cause the inner change in them, the change of mind, a change of behavior. It's your own assumption that they can recognize your value, that they can see you, that you are the person that anyone wants to have, that anyone desire to create that kind of relationship that you want to have with them. It's not the wanting, it's not the needing that is going to create the reality that you want. When you notice that lack showing up, it's just telling you one thing. I am not who I want to be. Now do something about it. And doing something about it means that I start focusing on that inner change that I want to achieve, so that when I think about the reality that I want to experience, I am certain that I will have it. Anyone can achieve short-term successes. We are shifting every second. And while you are visualizing, you are affirming, you're scripting, maybe there is a moment where you fully embrace that reality without questioning it. And that's enough to create an imprint, a physical experience in the 3D. So that person shows up exactly the way that you have imagined them to show up. But often what happens, it's not consistent. The same way that they showed themselves as the person that we want them to be, a minute later, an hour later, the next day, they show up exactly the way that they used to be. And the reason is because you are not being consistent in the change that you have experienced. You are not being consistent in how you are seeing yourself, perceiving yourself, assuming yourself in them. So if you're not being consistent, they cannot be consistent in that relationship either, because the assumption that you have that relationship, that relationship is destined to you, isn't a consistent assumption. So what's going to guarantee consistency? It's a consistent change in your assumptions about yourself and others. Of course, when you're working on your self-concept, you may experience a mix of the old and the new as well. And this is called the middle. Why? Because you are purging old beliefs, old ideas, old assumptions. But there is a big difference here. And it is where you're grounded. Your validation is not coming from the 3D. When you have change, your validation is coming from your inner idea of who you are, not how people treat you. And even though the external reality is telling you that you're not, you are grounded in that inner conviction that is telling you, yes, I am. It is the consistent assumptions, the consistent environment that, for example, you have all the attributes to have the kind of relationship that you desire to have. That you have all of the attributes that would attract people that want that kind of relationship, okay? That want to build it with you. That people recognize what you bring to the table. That what you have to offer is important. That you're unique. That you are one of a kind, and anyone would be so lucky to have you in their lives. That you are exactly what they are looking for. When you recognize what you have within, and when you start feeling that way about yourself, I am the person who is destined to have that relationship. And people offer me that too because they want that with me. This is what is going to create a consistent change in your physical experience. Those ideas are what is going to make them sit down wherever they are and think, what am I doing? This is my person. Why am I fighting this? And they are going to start thinking about those things, and they are going to come to their own conclusions. But that conclusion is going to be aligned with the idea of who you are. By no means, it doesn't mean that everything in life is going to be perfect from now on. But it is a big difference when you are grounded in who you are and not in the validation of what the 3D is telling you that you are. We are most of the time on autopilot. Our self-concept is rolling things out. We focus, we are aware of the things that confirm our stories. So to get a consistent change of mind in your specific person, a change in their behavior, you don't need any action in the external world. You don't need to chase them and go towards them. What you need to do is to embody that version of you who can give you the kind of relationship that you want to have with them. Embodying that version of you who believes that people can see that value in you. People can recognize it and want to have that in their lives. Okay? They can appreciate you the way that you are. And every time that you genuinely feel that way, that you see yourself that way, they are going to feel you and see you that way too. And it's your consistency that is going to create that consistency in their behaviors. It's about your essence. What is your essence? What do you believe your essence to be? And every time that you feel like, I'm such a catch, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm so unique, nobody will find anyone like me, I have so much to offer, I can build such an amazing, healthy, loving relationship with someone, I am so caring, I pay so much attention to people when they talk to me, I make them feel really special and understood and seen. And people recognize this. They recognize my value. They appreciate me the way that I am. I am exactly what they need in their lives. Every time that you feel that way, that you assume that version of you, they are going to experience you that way too, because that's who you are. Every time that you feel that way, that you assume that version of yours, they are going to be there wherever they are, questioning their actions, their assumptions, their choices. They are going to start thinking, maybe I am making a mistake. Maybe it is the biggest mistake that I have ever made in my life. And those kind of things, they are going to force them into changing their assumptions. But this is not going to come as a favor to you. It's going to come from that perspective that you have such a high value that they cannot lose you. So if they don't want to lose you, they have to match it. They have to level up. They have to work on themselves. They have to become the man, the woman, the person that can build that life with you, okay? And from that will come consistency in them too, in your relationships. And that inner work that you're doing is going to allow you to also maintain that version of them in your life, okay? You guys got this. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to talk soon. Bye-bye.